And here it is. I know before you say it, it's another Kraftwerks kit. But this is one of those things I wanted to show you. You wonder, is it really worth the drive? I know we tell you that all the time. Well, it's September 6th, 2017. Hurricane Irma is coming right for us. This guy, he came from out of town. He drove right into it just to come to us.
Everybody's driving out of Florida. This guy is driving into Florida for a supercharger kit. So I would say that's worth the drive.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you can tell here, but these are little bolts put in there. They're supposed to be like a countersunk. See, that's a bolt I just took out. That's what it has there. So that's going to be a little thing that we replace and put stainless countersunk Allen bolts in there so it looks nicer. All right, we're moving pretty good on this one. Transmission is off. There's a factory clutch. Clutch is coming off. It's getting a Clutchmasters FX 300 with, of course, the Nietzsche bearing. The bearing that we supply with all of our kits. The only one we use. This is a better bearing. It's also getting a lightweight flywheel. This is the AP2 and it's notorious for the heavy flywheel. The flywheel we put on is 13 pounds, which is close to the AP1 flywheel. There it is. Look how light George makes that look.
It's the beast.
Can you hold it with one hand?
Of course.
Like, can you hold it? Can you hold it like this? Alright, nice shiny clutch is on the FX 300 with a Nietzsche bearing and the billet flywheel. So now time for the transmission to go back on. You know what we're going to do with this part, right? And we're going to put spark plugs in it. George has the supercharger getting assembled over there. We changed the radio station because they're talking about the hurricane non-stop. And it's getting a little depressing, so we're cranking up a little bit of feel-good music. Not that it makes you feel good, but it gives us a distraction. So we're cranking along, clutch is in, header is on. Starting to assemble the supercharger. The valve cover has a leak. I'm going to change this valve cover gasket, check the valves, and clean this up, and keep rolling. Things glued down. That was enjoyable. Scraping that off the head. You don't need that to put a valve cover gasket on. You have seen our video us do this so many times, but I'm going to show you it again because I still like the way we do it. Look at that, we leave this plastic and drill a hole so the intercooler goes through. Look at that. I know I've talked about these fuel pumps before. These are kind of a pain to get out of the S2000, so you don't want to do this twice. You want to use the best pump you can possibly put in there, which you've heard us talk about is the Walbro. Let's get it out right here. This thing is spilling fuel, look at that. I've emptied it and drained it. Still poured down my arm. Flat screwdriver right in that tab there. Get it just right, that little clip comes right off. Pump, give it a slight twist. It'll come right out for you. So one of the things, I've talked about this before, but not everybody's seen every video, so I'm going to act like you haven't seen this. This is the tube that comes with the Kraftwerks kit. When you look at the engine bay, it looks like this. It has this guy sticking out the side that the air temp sensor goes into, so you see it like this. One of the things that we do is we remake this pipe, we cut that sensor off, like this. So when you look at it, you'll see that. There's the sensor on the inside, it disappears. The sensor is this way. We're going to do polished aluminum on this, the car's silver. Rather than do the Kraftwerks gray, silver kind of contrast with it, and I'll polish this up, make it look a little bit better, and the intake tube will match and look the same. Alright, we are moving right along. You've seen how we do these pipes. I just finished polishing that one. Let me get out the light there. I've got the big LED light on today. It's pretty overcast, obviously. That pipe, I just finished polishing it, and I talked about changing the sensor. You can see the sensor now resides in that area there, so it is kind of hidden. And the intake, rather than the intake sitting this way and laying over that pipe, we build that pipe and flop it over. It fits in there nice. It's a nice little pocket for that filter to sit in. We have access to fresh air. There is a hole inside the fender If you can't see it, my filter kind of covers it. It's right behind the horn there. So it does have an added effect of colder air getting into the intake. We have a updated blow-off valve that we're including for this customer for no charge. The standard blow-off valve that comes with the kit is a little bit smaller than that one. We're going to test that one out. That might be something we'll make an option with our kit. So we're going to test this one out, make sure we're 100% happy with it. So the customer did supply his own oil and filter. Mobil 1 filter. This is a good filter. I typically run OEM Honda filters, which you've seen in the past. We show you the part numbers of PCX, but Mobil 1 does do a good filter, and I use pretty much Mobil 1 and everything, so this is a great choice.
The bottle's real flimsy too.
Yeah. This is the Rotrex oil that you have to use with the kit. As you see, it's kind of a blue color. But it's pretty expensive. It's over $100 a bottle, so we kind of treat this stuff like gold. Nice thing about it is it's good for 50,000 miles.
Here we are, day 3. We're on the dyno. You can see it's already strapped down, ready to start making some power. We'll see how it does. It's not as hot as usual. It's 94 it says, but I'm sure it'll go up as the day goes on. It's still early. But on the dyno, day 3, let's make some power.
You guys order a tuner? I got a laptop. Tuned these before. Let's start tuning. Day 3. Hurricane Irma is still south of us. We're going to try and get this car done, make some power, get the customer back on the road, make everyone happy, be safe. Car is done. We're going to call the customer. Actually, we're going to put the diffuser back on. We have to remove the diffuser to get it on the dyno. Focus it there. Final numbers. 410. Skunk 2 header, the usual package that we have. Let me show you the other screen right here. Usual package, the exhaust he has is a Tanabe, and I think it's a 60mm. Last car we did almost identical to this. He had a 70mm exhaust and it did 417, so we're pretty right on par. As you see, temperature right now 98 degrees, and that's the time that it is right now. This is day 3. We just got another notification that as of tomorrow, zone A's are getting evacuated, which is not far from here, so hopefully they're not gonna call zone B, which is us. This is zone B. We're gonna stack these cars up as high as we can, brace the shop, cross our fingers. That's insured, but I don't want to get filled with water, but if it is, the bank, you can come and get it. It ain't gonna be any good to us. So there we go. Car number 42. This we should call Kraftwerks Irma number 42 or whatever. I don't know what we're gonna title this, but we're gonna call the customer and I'm sure he is gonna be stoked. Here we are. This is the final part of the build. He supplied the strut tower brace, and like we talked about before, this is one of the nicest ones and it fits. That is the bar, the Cusco. Finished putting the little panels on, repolished the pipes. This, just to go over the build, is the Kraftwerks supercharger kit. 1000cc injectors, the Walbro pump, the piping that we changed. It does have the silver intercooler. We did a Clutchmaster stage 3 clutch, the billet flywheel, the Skunk 2 header, the test pipe. We did install gauges. Last minute he wanted a boost gauge and a wideband gauge, so they are installed with our dual gauge pod. Let me switch those on so you can see. They do look nice. I've talked about those before. I know they're blinking on camera because they're LED, but nice looking gauges, very clear. The car is back on the lift here. He has a diffuser, which makes it impossible to put on the dyno. So this has to be put back up in the air. The diffuser has to be put back on, which is there. This is the fastest one we have done. Like I talked about, we're trying to beat the storm, trying to get the customer back on the road. So we're gonna put the diffuser back on, call him. He is staying somewhere real local. One of our good customers is actually looking after his trailer right now so he could drive his truck. And I'm sure he will be back here in a flash. So let me show you the engine bay again. The polished pipes really look good against the silver. You can't quite see unless you get the angle right. This is our LHT logo in silver. Actually matches the color of the car. It's almost like a ghost lettering on there. We did talk about those bolts being the wrong ones. Somebody had put 10mm bolts in there. We changed those to Phillips. Refinished his spark plug cover, put stainless bolts in there, fixed his gasket, went over his lifters, and there we are. This car did a little over 410, and it was 98 degrees. There it is. Wish us luck, folks.